Good evening, Stacy.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm well. It's only 3 o'clock here, so where are you?
I'm in South Africa, so it's 10 o'clock by us.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's a
In the evening. In the evening,
lot
not
to juggle with international calls, huh?
it is what it is. But I am so hopeful about this conversation. It is unreal.
So tell me about your project.
Um, so I I am researching waste prevention, but if I tell you about it, then I'm jinxing my bias. So I need to get you to tell me about it.
Okay,
Right.
well,
So
roll
that I
your tape.
don't jinx my bias. But can I please ask that we record the meeting?
Of course.
I do qualitative research, so it's quite important to understand your nuances, what's important to you, and I need to listen to the tone of your voice and the where you put emphasis on. And I might not be able to record all of that just looking at you.
This
I
is it's
maybe
already
need to.
it's already recording. So
Oh,
if you'll see at the bottom, there's a note taker.
I don't see it, so it might
Okay.
be recording on your side. I see
Okay.
Stacy's Fathom. Yes, yes, yes.
So the
Okay.
note taker will not only record the video, that it will transcribe everything for you.
Oh,
So
brilliant,
I'll
brilliant.
send the
Yeah,
transcription over with the recorded video as well, so you can go back
much
and.
appreciated. Yeah, yeah. I've used Fathom myself.
Oh, you have? Okay, great.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, yeah.
It's a very
Um,
helpful tool.
yeah, I tell you. Okay. So in terms of waste prevention, and I hear that my term for waste is different to the American term for waste. And what I am referring to in America is referred to as source reduction.
Mhm.
So in waste prevention, the similar terminology, it seems to be, is source reduction. So it's stuff that has never ever become waste.
Mhm.
How do we prevent stuff from waste being generated? So that's the focus of the research.
Mhm.
Um, in your field, how do you work with that? Because I see that you are do quite a lot with zero waste and specifically reduction of waste for companies, and it's the reduction of waste for companies that I'm interested in.
Right. For businesses, well, the way that we start is through waste auditing. And
Yeah,
so we will get into the waste stream up to our elbows for 5, 6 hours, and we will pick everything, sort it out, weigh it, catalog it, track it, um, all the way down to gum wrappers. The most minute pieces and even liquids that people, leave in bottles, water or soda. Um, and we will make all those calculations and pull together a chart, of what was diverted properly, what was contamination, and we'll do that for recycling stream and the food waste stream and even the waste stream. We'll find what was mishandled, what could have been diverted, but it was improperly handled at the bin.
yeah,
So
yeah,
we always start with that baseline measurement, and then we can go into a business structure and look top to bottom or bottom to top, or maybe side to side and diagonally, but we can look at purchasing practices to
uh-huh.
understand, if you're if you're there's one person on your office floor that buys for just one department, and then there's another person on the same floor that purchases for their department, and that is mirrored 9 stories up or
Yeah,
down
yeah, yeah,
within the
yeah,
office building. We're not pulling together the monetary resources that we have of the entire company to make purchases in bulk that
yeah,
can supply all 10 floors with consistent products and at a
yeah, yeah,
discounted
yeah,
rate, because you're buying um, larger purchases,
yeah,
and you're
yeah,
working with a a single vendor that can really customize orders for you as well. That depends on the time of year. Usually, whenever the fall and the spring come around, that's a lot of people feel that is their real go time, beginning of the year and, beginning of September through the holidays, because everybody becomes a zombie the last, 6 weeks of the year. So it's, the business really slows down and starts to pick back up in January, February. So you can see these kind of ebbs and flows of business production and the amount of hours that people are putting in at the office or, wherever they're working. And that however many people are there on site every day is how much waste is going to be generated. In America, I think it's about 4.6 pounds per person per day of materials.
Yeah.
So if we can take that and extrapolate and reduce, the 16 hours that you're not at the office, we can get a percentage of how much people are actually wasting at the office each day. And so if we can go in and make smart purchases with pooled resources, and we can get discounted rate, and we can buy materials that are made from recycled materials themselves, we can close the loop that way, right? That's the circular economy that we all know and love now, is giving these products more and more life through the recycling process. And then you can determine with the waste audits that we do, you can determine where the actual training needs to be adjusted and tweaked, because some departments will be better than others. And why is that? Doesn't everybody get the same training? Well, maybe you have a floor manager that says, I'm a green warrior, and if you're not doing this correctly, as a team, we're failing at recycling. But the other floor manager 2 stories up might be, I don't really care. Do what you want. So you're going to see differing perspectives, and that is going to influence workers on what their level of care would be in handling these very precious resources.
Okay.
Do they have
I love that
to be recycled, or do they not? Because there just wasn't a higher standard set. There wasn't that expectation of corporate culture set within the green office space. So we look at the purchasing habits. We look at the type of materials they're bringing into the business, how they're being used, reused, repaired. Repair is a big one within, if you have an office chair that loses a wheel, you don't throw it out, you replace the wheel, right? So we look at all the ways that they're using the R's. There's like 9 R's. There's not 3 R's. There's 9.
I agree.
Are we using all 9 before we even get to recycling? So that's kind of what we look at and what is the output as well. What does your waste stream look like? And we can tie that back to the waste audit that we did previously.
I love that you mentioned the business case for reducing waste. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
The business case is saving money.
Yeah, I agree.
The business case is, when you have a department that is coming in over budget and you have not looked at the waste stream as one of the top priorities in your business, you're throwing money away. You're leaving cash on the table, because when things get thrown away, those extra life cycles are not realized for that product. So we didn't reuse anywhere within the business. We didn't repair it. We didn't get someone to remanufacture or replace. We just threw it away. And you also have to pay for that to be hauled. So you're paying for it twice. And if you're not extending the life of the material that you bring into the business, then you're getting rid of them far too soon, and you're paying for that second time much earlier than you should have. So I would say saving money and operational efficiencies of any part of a business is the lowest hanging fruit of any way to save money within a company. And so if you are overlooking or you don't give credence and a hefty focus on your waste stream, then again, you're doing your business a disservice. You're doing your employees a disservice as well. They want to work at a company they can feel proud of. If they know everything is going into the landfill, you don't have care for the planet they live on, the planet their family lives on, the planet you live on. You know, it's important that that companies are not only putting forth a best effort for green initiatives, but they're bringing their employees along with it, even the ones that want to kick and scream. I don't want to do this. Well, you have to understand, and you have to provide in the training, why are we doing this? We're not just telling you this is from the boss and we're wagging our finger at you. This creates jobs. This saves landfill space. This creates a more vitality in the local economy. This reduces our greenhouse gas emissions. We can equate all of this to sustainability reporting to our shareholders, our clients, our customers, and even our employees. That can help bring in new talent recruitment, top tier talent that wants to work at a company that has major sustainability initiatives and goals, but doesn't just greenwash. They actually do it. They follow through. They show the metrics. They show everything to the public, and it's very transparent. That's the kind of company people want to work for.
To your point, in terms of the Sustainable Development Goals, there is a target in Sustainable Development Goal number 12, 12.5 has a target on sustainable consumption, but where one would look for waste prevention or source of reduction. But there's no indicator to measure that. What do you use to motivate?
To motivate whom?
Well, a lot of people do it for the Sustainable Development Goals. If it gets measured, it gets managed, and you can actually escalate it up because it counts towards ESG, or it counts towards sustainable development, or it counts towards something. But when there's no indicators, when there's nothing to measure this, how do we then motivate? Because the reason why I'm doing this specific study is because I could not find evidence, and I'm happy to be shown where the evidence is hiding, but I could not find evidence that we are accurately reporting on how we are reducing waste, not generating waste in the first place. How are we measuring? How are we actually doing? It seems elusive.
There is, and my very good friend is producing statistics on waste generated per capita.
Yeah.
And that is the individual basis. It's not a recycling rate. It's a waste structure of generation based on the number of people within a city or a county. And it is a much more detailed and factual, much more accurately targeted, specific waste measurement in the per capita, arena. And, when we have recycling rates, it's very nebulous. It doesn't take into account many factors. There's, at least here in Texas, in the Austin area, we're very much pro green business, green, operations, environment heavy, protection of the environment, but many cities are not. Even neighboring cities are like, we don't want to be like Austin. We just want, we're Texans, and so There's this bravado around not caring about the environment that I just don't get. And I'm like, do you not drink water?
Yeah.
Okay. Do your children not drink water? Because it doesn't matter where you stand politically or how macho you think you are. There's mercury in the water still. There is arsenic in the water. It deserves protection, and it's not a feminine thing to want to protect the environment. So we have to get back to, it's more of a conservation topic. We have to get back to the feel of conservation and paying it forward to the next generation. And so it's not, I think weighing and measuring needs to be per capita because people move.
Yes.
All the time. They move in and out of cities, in and out of the country. And, it can't just be something that we measure every 10 years, like a census. That doesn't make any sense. So if we could have these kind of every other year per capita measurements, we could understand which cities are doing the best and which ones we can emulate, which ones need the help. And we can even have competitions. Healthy competition among residents of one city versus another is a very, very good idea. When you gamify things, you make it fun. People don't think about, our
inconvenience.
Our planet is on fire, right? They think about, I'm taking direct individual action, and maybe some of that action looks like calling the customer service line of Coca-Cola because they're the biggest plastics polluter, and finding out what their green policy is, really asking, calling these large corporations on the carpet, on social media, email them, write them a letter by hand, that's very personalized. Anything that regular consumers can do to get these large corporations to clean up their own mess, because if they don't, it's on us with tax dollars.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, landfill absolutely is a tax for everyone.
It's a burden.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a service that we do need because of the system that's at play.
Yeah. Can I ask, you said it's your friend that did the per capita. Can you name this friend, or can
Her name is Barbara, and I can put you in direct contact with her.
I would so appreciate that.
But she's brilliant, and she's worked with, I believe, the city of Dallas. She was an employee with the city of Dallas. North Texas. So she has a lot of
data and
knowledge in this space. Yes.
Yeah. Excellent. Sure. Yeah. I would love to hear how she measures, because waste is one of these nebulous things that keeps morphing. Not only because our behavior change regularly, but all people have different behaviors, and then you drag the cultural thing into it, and certain people believe certain things are waste, and other people think no, that's not, and so on. So it's a complicated issue, but happy to study it.
Yeah, and I think if behavior change is what got us here,
yes,
then we can reverse the process. And we only can do that by changing from a linear economy to a circular economy. That's the only way that we can do that. And these companies have to come along. They need take back programs, like the computer industry does, right? Tires, batteries, oil, gas, oil, all of that. Take back programs that can be implemented and that have been, and they can be copied. They can be, you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, we used to have milk canisters delivered, and none of that is real anymore. Can I share with you a framework that I've derived from literature to get your comment on it, and to see what you think? I have that quickly. Oh, my host has disabled my screen sharing.
Let me see. Try that.
Okay. Can you see the conceptual framework?
I can't. Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. So we've discussed quite a bit of things, and I've listened to you, and a lot of what you've said has been echoed by other authors as well. So the waste prevention objectives, having a culture of waste prevention, making sure that there's awareness of waste prevention, and that typically is driven through a leadership or an awareness campaign. From an organizational perspective, and then supplier relationships planning, the quality of products that you buy in, and standardization seem to be other things that's triggered by the procurement department, that make the decisions on these things. And then from an operational perspective, which people do what and for which reasons, the organizational infrastructure, the product design, making sure that the products we are making actually can be refurbished, can be recycled, can be reused many times over. Pre-waste treatment is typically what you would find in situations where you prevent something from becoming waste by mixing it with something else, or by adding two and two together so that they can make a bigger piece, or work with economy of scale. And then material efficiency, I think, speaks for itself. It's making sure that we use every little bit of resource to its greatest capacity. And you definitely spoke about the maintenance. It must be able to be fixed and or repaired. So yeah. So
I also think that it can't just be top down. It needs to be bottom up. We need to listen to the consumer. We need to listen to the employees that have brilliant ideas, and they need to feel safe in order to bring those ideas to upper management. They need, maybe there's an anonymous Dropbox of suggestions, or maybe there is a survey that is put out for anonymous feedback. But what do you know about recycling? How do you feel about it? What should we do better? How can, these improvements can come from people that are not only employees, but in their off time, they follow these issues very closely, and they may have resources and articles and all sorts of learning tools in order to implement into the business. So a lot of times it's a top down, but it really has to work backwards. It really needs to be a grassroots kind of employee led initiative to work, as it bubbles up to the top. The managers can choose which of these brilliant ideas they think will be most impactful in the business and can save the most money, because they know the budgeting, they know the legal framework, and the waste contracts around their business. They know all that. But if they don't listen to the employees who have these suggestions, who have seen it work in other companies that they've worked at or other organizations, then we're shutting down really good information and ideas. Just because it didn't come from the executives.
I agree. I think that's a very valid point. Is there anything else you would change? Is it so? The framework can be in any way. One of the other participants, for example, said innovation is critically important. Because, and you said there's something similar in that employees must be able to contribute their initiatives, and one of the other participants mentioned localization. So there must be a consideration for how you do not have to transport something from China to get it cheaper. You actually need to figure out how you could do it locally. And
that circular economy is hyper local, because it keeps the materials in your local area and builds out the market usability. That's where your small businesses start to pop up, because that feedstock is there.
Yes.
And you don't have to purchase from China. You can manufacture, right here in the US. We've shipped all of our manufacturing jobs overseas into Mexico. How are we getting those back? It's going to be through circular economy, keeping things very, very local build out the materials markets, increase the value because there's no transportation cost.
Yes,
And
yes.
you'll be able to create the jobs in the small businesses and grow the economy from the local level. But yeah, I think you're right. The innovation comes also at the design phase for
Yes,
the businesses
yes.
that put the products out. And
Yeah,
so
yeah,
if customers like you and me don't have the ability to decide what is put on the store shelves, we have the ability to buy, purchase what we feel is best for our family
yeah,
or
yeah,
our office space, but we're not the ones that design the products. So I don't have any say in how much, toxins are in my products unless I'm educated about it, and B, I make a big stink about it as a consumer, making a big statement, I'm never buying your products again until you get rid of A, B, and C chemicals. And if it's just me talking, they don't care. But if
yeah,
it's 50% of their customer base, they're going to make a change. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
organized consumer outcry, and it's innovation at the very top, part of the pyramid
yeah, yeah.
to affect clean products that come through the system. Because if once you recycle that, the recyclers don't want dirty products. They don't
Yes,
want
yes,
toxic materials. So it's
yes.
all the design and innovation phase, the material selection phase of what is going to drive circular economy. Can we put clean materials into the recycling environment?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Anything else that you think we're missing? Anything else that we need to add
You mean in the framework here?
in the framework? Do you think maybe we need to redesign the framework that it looks circular? um,
I would, hmm, you might want to do a half moon, like a crescent,
yeah,
because it's part of a circle. We're not circular yet,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but we're also not linear
yeah,
economy.
yeah,
So
yeah,
this right here is very linear. And I
yeah,
would say if you can make it into an arch
yeah,
that says we can complete the circle
yes,
for a
yes,
circular economy. And
yeah,
you can
yeah,
put, you can put the little labels on the top of the line and also on the bottom, and they can alternate, along up and down, up and down, up and down along the arch. But I
yeah,
think if
yeah,
we had a half circle saying you're kind of, saying I think we're half there. We need to do more work to fill in the bottom piece.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. Because I mean, understand that prevention of waste is only a portion of the solution. And
correct.
I
Oh
agree
yeah,
with you there. It is
yeah.
definitely not the solution. There's a lot of other stuff that also play a part. And
Hmm.
and just because I didn't research it doesn't mean it doesn't form part of the circle. So
Right, right. Yeah, I think
yeah,
there's many inventive ways that are still out there to yet be discovered that have not been
absolutely,
plugged in yet
absolutely, yeah,
to the
yeah,
formulation. And that's why it's not complete just yet. And a lot
yeah,
of it
yeah.
comes from human habit change and
Yes,
the
yes,
education piece. So we have to give people a reason why to care.
yeah, yeah. Oh, that's a
And
brilliant saying. A reason why to care. Sure. Excellent. Excellent. Sure. Stacy, I have used up my time. I really so appreciated your
you're
time.
welcome.
Thank you
Excited
very
to
much.
learn more about your project, and you know, maybe once it's
Um,
done, you can send over what you have. I'd love to look at it.
Thank you so much. I would happily share my research. Yes, it's all over the world. So it's fascinating how different cultures perceive different things.
Right.
Yeah, happy to share once the results are out.
Okay,
Because
wonderful.
understand if we don't have the results, then we're in deep trouble.
Yes.
Um, then I'm jinxing the results because I'm sharing information and then that causes all kinds of ethical issues. So let's not do that. Let's do the right thing first. And
Follow,
happy to share the results.
follow your intuition, follow your gut.
Yeah.
To what feels right, what feels best, and don't steer away from that, because if you feel you're on the right path, you probably are.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of second guessing in this, but this is why we have these conversations, because all of these different perspectives are still providing you with the acknowledgement and the validation that yes, you're onto something here.
Yeah, I do believe that that's definitely the case. I mean, every person that I have spoken to said, "Sure, yeah, there is something here. So let's follow this little rope and see how long it is."
That's right. Keep going. Okay, well, I will send an email to you with Barbara's information, and I'll do an introduction between the two of you. Maybe you can get her on your calendar to interview her as well.
I so appreciate that. Yeah.
The per capita measurements that she's pushing.
At
the state level right now.
Yeah, and then the recording, please.
Yes, of
Otherwise,
course.
I'm in deep trouble here.
You will have it almost immediately.
Thank you. I'm so
coming very soon.
Thank you very much, Stacy. Okay. Thank you, and have a lovely weekend.
You as well.
You are doing amazing work. I really enjoyed your website.
Thank you. It was very nice meeting you, and I appreciate everything you're putting into this. It's very, very important to the conversation as a whole.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Right. Have fun.